Hi everybody, just waiting for people to turn up here, and we'll get this webinar on the way. Not too long, folks, and hopefully we'll get going soon. Just another minute or two, and we'll just wait for a few more people to come on. Understanding at this time of the evening, people are pretty busy at home, so we'll give everyone a little bit more time. So let me know if you've got the chat box up. Just say hi, that you can hear me. Everything's all good there. Okay, hopefully I am coming through loud and clear. Welcome to my webinar. My name is Andrew Ireland, aka the New Age Geek, and here to present to you how you can get your own business website up and going. So we'll get started on the webinar. And thank you for giving your time this evening. Okay, just a quick introduction about who I am. I've got 30 years experience in the IT industry. I've been in computer support, PC support now. Over that 30 years, I've been doing website development for the past 5. 2 of those as the New Age Geek. I often get asked why the New Age Geek. I've been doing customer support, and quite often people would say, "Look, you don't fit the geeky style, reserve guy, a little bit too friendly to be a geek." So I was looking for a name for my Twitter account back in 2009 and came up with New Age Geek, and that's pretty much history. It's stuck. And I've used that since and created the business 2 years ago as the New Age Geek, doing website development for clients, and now looking at quite a number of people on different groups on Facebook who are quite interested in doing their own websites, just not quite sure where to go. So that's pretty much the basis of this webinar this evening. Okay, so what has brought you to this webinar? I mean, this obviously is something that you're interested in wanting to do, is to build your own website. You may have your own business. Hopefully that we can help you out there. I know you may have had a bad experience doing your own website, or you may have had a website developer do a website for you and that didn't go well. So you're looking at trying to get that going yourself. Or you may already have a business website and you're just looking to be able to get something more out of it instead of having to go back to your developer or find someone else to maintain it, and you're just not quite sure how to go about it, where to go. You may have had a bit of a look at the back end of your website and run away screaming and thought, no, this is not for me. I can assure you that the right guidance, that's not going to be a problem. Basically, I think what people that don't have a website need to ask themselves, what do they want from their website? What do they want to do with it? What do they want it for? Simply wanting to do a personal blog, nothing wrong with that. Simple landing page for their business, just starting out, just keeping it basic. Maybe it's to get a sales funnel if they've got a product they want to sell, and a full-on business website, something multi-page, full-blown website that they may have been quoted thousands of dollars to have done by a professional. Just here to tell you now that the right skills, the right knowledge, and the right direction, that is something that you can manage on your own. Now, how can we go about getting a website done in today's offerings out there on the the World Wide Web? The old way of hand building websites is pretty much gone by the by and by. You don't really need to do it that way anymore. It's actually recommended that you don't. It's just too cumbersome. If your blogs, you can go WordPress.com or Blogger. If you're wanting to do a simple blog, there's the free website builders from Wix and Weebly. I'm pretty much here to not convince, but certainly advise that doing it with a content management system like WordPress. WordPress is what I've been using now for 5 years. It's definitely the way to go from what I've seen of all the website builders. It gives you full ownership of your website. Wix and Weebly say you own the content, but look, if they don't like something or someone complains about your website, it's quite simple for them to take you offline. You have no control over it whatsoever. So to have a hosted website using WordPress from WordPress.org, the software is free, so there's no cost in that, and that's definitely the right way to go. And WordPress. Why WordPress? It's currently running 32% of the websites on the web at the moment. Pretty impressive. It's just taken hold. It's got support. There are content management systems out there. There's Joomla for one of them. People can remember back to the 80s if you're born in that era. Remember the old VHS versus Beta. Necessarily one was better than the other, but VHS took off. It took the market share, and it's pretty much the same with WordPress. There are developers pretty much everywhere you turn on the World Wide Web that will be able to support WordPress, provide you with connections to other systems, all the plugins, the whole ecosystem around WordPress is just so strong. It's more or less, it's a logical way to go. Thousands of themes, development continually being improved. It's got the flexibility, and most of all, you own your website and website content. I guess if there are downsides, which there are to anything, because it is yours. You are responsible for maintaining your website. Now, I like to use analogies. It's a bit like owning a car. Instead of using a taxi, you have to be responsible for it, but the flexibility is there. Where do you start? Where do we start with getting your website up and running? Obviously, you need to come up with your website address and your domain name. Now, the standard .com.au, .net.com. You may find that the business you're in, or you may want to register it against your name, that someone else already has it. And there are more offerings these days for a website address. .co, .info, .website. I mean, there are now 300 different available ones. Where you can, go for the .com, the .com.au. It has more authority than some of the newer ones, but they are gaining traction and authority out on the web. So this is only a matter of time that there will be more and more. It has to be unique. So if you've not got availability of a .com or .com.au with the name you want, then you have other options. And generally they're affordable, $15 to $30 a year. It's not a huge expense. Now you've got a name, you need somewhere for your website to live, to find a hosting provider. There are a number of them around, and if you stick through to the end, I've got an offer there that can help you out with that particular part of the equation. And choosing a package. What do I do when I go to get a hosting package? It's usually based on how much capacity you need, how much disk space. Think of it like your phone or a memory card and your camera. It's just your disk drive and your computer. The more information you want to store, the bigger the package you're going to need. For most people that just want to do their business information, sales page, that sort of thing, if you're running an online store and you want to sell thousands of products, you're going to need more storage. Otherwise, most of the basic packages will do what you want them to do. And again, they are quite affordable these days. Now you want to get one that has what we call a cPanel. That's basically where you get things started, where you install your WordPress. And it's always good to get one that comes with an automated system for installing your WordPress. Just takes the pain out. You don't need to know the code behind it, how to use file uploads and all that sort of thing. It just, these days, as you can automate anything, that's definitely the way to go. It's a no-brainer. I mean, I've been using that system with my clients. I use it every second day. I need to install someone's new WordPress website. It's always done through the automated process. Because there are other advantages which I'll touch on as we go through the webinar that make that definitely worthwhile. And for diving into doing anything, whether it's planning your business or planning your website, it's planning. Let's just plan what you want your website to do for you. What do you want it to be? A sales page, a lead page, a blog. Think about what content you want to put up. I still do, unfortunately, get some clients that will come to me with an idea that they want a website and they really haven't thought about what they want on there. It's definitely something you need to think about when you're planning your own, but you need to work out what do you want it to look like, what do you want it to do. You need a logo. It's always good to have a logo. It's not imperative, but generally if you've got a business and business cards printed and stationery, you're going to have a logo. So look into that. There are places online you can get logos done if you're not graphically inclined. I generally don't offer that in my services as a web designer. Logo design, if I do, it's very basic. You can get some great ones done on Fiverr and places like that. How it's going to look, your fonts. It's really great to go out and let's have a look at fancy fonts, but you've got to look at how your website's going to function and how easy it is for people that visit your website to read your information. Now, you go back to the early 2000s, some of the fonts, uses and colours, they're quite horrid. Thankfully today, it's just look at a font, a very simple sensor font. It's easy to read. If you're going to need more than 2 fonts, don't go, more than 1, don't go more than 2. Again, font size. Look at a lot of older websites, you just about need a magnifying glass or glasses to read what's going on. And colour. It's got to be contrasting. If you've got, I still see it today, I see people that will design a website and what they think will look good on paper. Certainly if you've got a light background and you want to put white or light writing on top of it, you just can't read it. And I still see new websites being developed today that break very basic design rules such as that. There's got to be a contrast. The presentation here, white writing on a darkish background that's easy to read. If I was to do the white writing on a light grey background, it's just going to make it difficult. Now, websites are like the same thing. Now, what can you do with WordPress? First things first, the look and feel. If you've heard of people or discussed with people that have done websites with WordPress, they talk about themes and templates. It's basically just allows you to get the look and feel that you want, to allow you to choose the colour schemes that you want. Again, like to buying a car, you're going to pick the colour you want, the interior, the style, the trim, all that sort of thing. It's same with a business vehicle, it's the same with a personal vehicle. Now, WordPress comes with its own themes. They're built in, they're free as part of the package. They are limited in what you can do. If you talk to people that have had difficulty setting up a WordPress blog or website, and they've basically said this is just too hard to do. Often, ask them what theme they were using. If they've chosen the default inbuilt theme, it's understandable. They are difficult to use. I don't use them for that reason. They slow development down, and you just don't have the flexibility you have with a premium theme, and you are going to pay for them. Now, generally anywhere from $50 to $130 to buy a theme that's premium. But it's your business. It's worth that small investment to get a theme. I've been using 2 or 3 different themes that are all premium. ProStyler is one. It's a new one on the market. OptimizePress may have heard of if you're involved in any of the Facebook groups, business groups that are quite often talk about OptimizePress. Now, it just makes life easier when you come to putting it together. Now, the premium themes basically come with page builders. Now, if you've looked at Wix or Weebly and their page builders to put things together, similar line. You do have more flexibility in what you can do with page builders in WordPress. A great way to get started, and I use themes with page builders for all my professional development for clients. It just makes it that much easier to deal with and puts WordPress back in. It gives you that ease of use, the same as if you were using a Wix or a Weebly. People will give you that advice, don't go with WordPress, it's too hard to using premium themes. Point you in the direction of themes at the end of the webinar and give you some ideas of where you can get those and how they'll all work. Other things to look at when you'll manage your own website. Some more recommendations and plugins. Plugins. This is where WordPress has it over most website development environments, the free ones. Extending it beyond the basics, extending it beyond what they call the core WordPress, the security. You're putting a website out on the World Wide Web. it's akin to, again, parking your car in the most unsecure car park you could think of. There are people out there trying every day to break into someone's website. And it's relentless. I install security plugins on all WordPress websites that I develop, the ones that I manage for people. I monitor the attacks that come through. It's basically like a car alarm. I get alerted that someone's actually tried to break in. How they break in? WordPress, you will show shortly, is the back end where you manage the site. You need to log in with a username and password. So there are people out there basically trying to break that username and password for your website. More or less to either graffiti your site, most likely it's to redirect it to their own criminal organisations and things like that. So people will then go to your website. If it's been hacked, they won't see your website anymore. You'll be taken somewhere, Russia, Middle East, who knows. So we need to stop that. It's not all that difficult to do that. It's just a matter of doing it. It's like having a secure car or a secure house. SEO, search engine optimization. Being found online. If you're running a business, you want to get found. It's no good building a very beautiful, fancy website if no one's ever going to find you. If you're wanting to sell something, you're just writing a blog, that's a slow thing to do. Now, WordPress is built from the ground up to work well with Google and search engines. You can add further enhancements to it with the SEO plugin. There are a number of them around. Now, WordPress being the community it is, there are thousands of plugins to do thousands of different things. Some of them are really good. They are community rated. Some are, again, they are professional and paid for. You don't need to pay for every plugin. I will try and use a plugin that has a good reputation that's free. Now, the security that exists, the SEO that exists, you may want to add a mail autoresponder. So you may have heard of MailChimp or Aweber. You're running marketing, you want to collect email addresses, which is perfect for WordPress. That again is another plugin. You can hook up your autoresponder and collect your names and addresses and run your mail campaigns. Form builders can be built right into your WordPress website. You want to collect information on people for a specific reason. You may want to collect an application form for something and ask specific questions. Form builders that will let you do that. The Jetpack, I mentioned that because it comes from the parent company, WordPress.com. Automatic is that company. There are a number of features built into that. Some of those are the social media sharing. So Facebook likes and shares. So you can share your blog. Other people can read your blog and share it. It is one of the best ways of building your Google ranking, your SEO, so people know about you, is to get people to share what you write, to share what your sales pages, to share your website in general. Google Analytics. That is the best way to find out how you're ranking, who's visiting your website. And that will connect you to Google's Webmaster Tools. Now, little daunting to set up, not too difficult these days, as Google are making it a little bit easier as we go. Again, works well with WordPress. You can build plugins into your back-end dashboard where you can monitor what people are doing on your website, who's visiting, where they're coming from, and you get a great idea just how well your website is performing. Backups. It's like your computer or any electronic device that has data and information on it. You need to keep it backed up. You need to have a backup copy, so look, worst case that someone does break in and hack you, the best defense is, only delay people. You do have a backup you can go to. And as I mentioned before, the page builders, generally a plugin that come with the premium themes. So what makes a website effective? What works? Why would people want to stay on your website and not leave? You have between 5 and 7 seconds to engage your first-time visitor. People that are coming back that already know about you. Somebody's heard about your website and they've gone to have a look at what you've got. 5 to 7 seconds to engage them. So that will impact on the design. Clean, simple is the best design today. If you have too much information, if your website homepage or landing page is too busy, people are just going to click the back button and go and look for your competitor. And when they get there, they also not just need the clear message, they need a message and action of what you want your visitor to do. You want them to fill out a form, to contact you about further information, to buy something. That message needs to be clear. And it all needs to be what we call above the fold. The first part of the website, the top of the screen, people first see when they land there. There are many, many designs these days that have a great looking picture. They look very fancy, but their first message, you have to scroll. You have to go below the fold to actually work out why they want you to be there. If it's not clear from the moment you get there, then people just won't stay, and you'll have a bounce. And you hear about bounce rates on websites. This is part of analysing through Google Analytics. The bounce is basic. People have come there, they've stayed for 2 or 3 seconds, and they've left. Video. Everyone these days is talking video, and it does. It's true. It's interactive. If it's of yourself, they get to see who you are. It is the same as if they walked in off the street into a bricks and mortar store and saw you face to face. Same as online, it builds trust and authority with people. So definitely, it's definitely worthwhile considering video. Effects on images, that's something that's possible. But again, the main thing that a lot of people these days will have on a website, top part is maybe just not a fancy photo, but they have a slideshow or slider. There's two schools of thoughts. I'm not a great believer in the slider. It's a case of, again, they'll come there. The slider depends how fast the slideshow is running. They see the first slide. Generally, that's the first and only slide they will see. They'll either leave because they lost interest, or they'll be moving down the screen looking at the rest of your content. So a lot of effort can go into creating a slider or slideshow with photos. It generally doesn't work unless you're trying to put it as part of a product showcase and photos of that particular product you want to showcase. That's great. Put on a sales page, definitely not on the home page. Now, I've mentioned Google Webmaster Tools for tools and tips. Linking your page to your social media. Your website's got to be more, your online presence has got to be more than just your website. You need to have a Facebook page, business page. It's always good to have another social media depending on your type of business, what works best for you, whether it's Instagram or Pinterest or Twitter or LinkedIn. Your type of business will determine if it's very visual. Certainly Instagram is one of the good ones there. Link all that back to your home page so people can visit your Facebook page. It's a great way of also keeping rapid, up-to-date information. You can put a feed from your Facebook page, your business page on your home page. Really excellent way to keep information up to date on Facebook that then reflects on your website. And just one other small thing, monitoring your website, that it's actually live. No one's going to sit around 24/7 watching their website to make sure that it's up. Things can happen on the internet. They'll go down. I'm sure everybody's been to a website where they've gone, it can't be found. It's always a brilliant thing to know that that is not you, that it's not happening to you. And there are solutions out there that can monitor your website and send you an email or a text to your phone and say, hey, your site's down, and you can take the appropriate action to monitor what's going on. So, without further ado, and halfway through this webinar, let's dive into the back end of a WordPress website. We'll reshare a new screen and we'll get that underway. Okay. After installing, okay, I'll step one step back. Yeah, let's just step one step back. I mentioned before website hosting and getting a host that has a cPanel account. Very first steps. So, going through, you've registered your domain. I'll step back one step further again. Some places to register your domain. Crazydomains.com.au. I use them fairly extensively along with GoDaddy. They're both Australian presences of overseas companies. Great, not too expensive to, as you can see, registering .com.au's. They're fairly inexpensive. So once you've done that, and you've sorted out your hosting, you've got a cPanel. Then you get a screen like this once you've logged in with a username and password, and you think, oh my God, where do I go from here? What you want to look for are web applications, something along those lines. I mentioned before, automatic installation of your WordPress or other applications. This is where you want to go. It's a program called Installatron. A lot of the big hosting companies, including the hosting that I provide, have this as part of their package. And it is very much a simple fact of going to the application browser. WordPress is an application. There are many here. A lot of them, you see Drupal and Joomla, they're the three big ones. WordPress, you click on that and it will take you step by step installing it. And installation, but you can then click from here, go straight to your login panel for your fresh install of WordPress. And you will be greeted with this screen here, the dashboard. Now, I akin this to the dashboard of a car. Like, use the car analogy. I used to work for a software company that developed software for the car industry, so it's a good one. I've used it a number of years now. When you first jump in a car, remember back to when you first learned to drive, you have the dashboard and the gear stick and all the foot pedals and everything in front of you. It's like, okay, what do I do now? Same here. Yeah. We all got through learning to drive a car. It is a learning process, and you are presented with this dashboard. The key areas of the dashboard, some you need to look at first. You've got settings screen where you can set up. To come up. This is one of my blog sites that I've set up. Your site title. Set the time zone. I haven't done that yet. Now you don't need to go through all these settings. There are a few things that you can do here just to make things life easier. Your plugins that I mentioned before. Now, very few get installed when you first start. This is a basic one that the Installatron installs. Very basic security. Now, I mentioned Optimize Press. Under Appearances, this is where you put your themes in. This is where you get your look and feel. Now, you'll have 3, sometimes 4 here. 2014, 15 and 2013 are the free ones that are included that come straight with WordPress when you install it. Now I've added Optimize Press to this site. Once you've done that, it gives its own menu item. The dashboard here, this is where you control all your back end. So the complete look and feel using Optimize Press is all done here. Now the beauty, and as I mentioned before, it has a page builder. One of the beauties of Optimize Press, it will give you some templates and great starting points to get your website going. Landing pages, opt-in pages, the list goes on. It just, you can pick it and you edit details and put your own information. Great starting place. This is not all you can do. This is simply to get you kicked off and running. You can quite easily start with a blank canvas once you've got the feel of how the different elements on a page, when I mean elements, I'm talking about your header, the text, talking about opt-in boxes, and buttons, all the bits and pieces, the building blocks that go together to make up your website. The images, where you can link to a YouTube video, put your video in, all the elements make up these pages. With Optimize Press, I'll show you in a minute the ProStyler theme. Let's go to that as well. That's the sales page for it. ProStyler has, again, similar templates. Again, more expensive, not too expensive, but the premium things that you pay for will give you templates to get you kick-started. They're done for you already. This just makes life a lot easier. So that's it with Optimize Press. The pages. Pages are basically your pages of your website, whether the home page, the landing page. Go back to, this is my current online blog. Two going, one's not in development and one's a live one. The live one is using ProStyler. So I'm only going to go back to that because it's easier. I can show you the pages that I've already set up. If we go to the pages, this is how it looks. This is my blog. I've been developing this now for the last month, adding to it. When you're on a page, when you're logged in as the administrator, when you've got the full rights to edit your page, you always get this bar across the top of any page that you're looking at. Once you're looking at your website, ProStyler, if you want to go in to edit that particular page, the page builder will then come up. So a little bit of time there. I think the webinar is using my internet connection bandwidth a little bit too much. Okay. These are all the pages are listed that are part of your website, make up your website, different home pages. Now I've loaded a sample page to start with that came with this ProStyler theme. You can do similar things with Optimize Press. And we'll show you which one is your front page, your home page. If you've got a blog, it'll tell you which one is the page that your blogs will appear on. Go in and edit the home page. I'll just quickly run through our ProStyler with a page builder, puts together the page. I'm just going to open another tab to show you the page as it looks to the public. Before we render page, you can see here we've got different sections, headers, where your blog goes, sidebars, and the footer. The beauty of this particular theme, it'll come preloaded with layouts like this, where it says untitled. We'll title these to give you a description of what each section is, and it just makes it easy. You can go in, you can move these around, you can change the layout. It's easy as that. Optimized Press gives you very much a similar style of editing of your website. So that's just a very quick now to cover a complete tutorial on using the back end of WordPress is certainly something we're going to cover in 15-20 minutes on the webinar. But we'll come to the end of the webinar what I'm offering. Will help people in this journey of learning to use WordPress to do their own websites. So if it seems a little bit overwhelming at the moment, there's a lot. It's like learning to drive a car in 5 minutes. It's not going to happen. But breaking it down into each component and explaining how it all fits together, hopefully will take away that fear. Media. Recognise that I've moved things around, just wants to make sure that I want to leave that page before. So if you end up save what you've done, you do that before you leave the page. I don't want to save what I did, so I'm leaving there. You need somewhere where you're going to keep all your photos that you upload that you want to appear on your website. So there's a media library built in. All the photos and all the components that make up the various pages, they all live here. So main dashboard, media's posts. That's where you put your blog posts, separate and different to pages. Posts are what you add every second day, every day, depends how much you want to blog. They all go here, got 3 so far. Pages are your static pages of your website. Media is where you put all your photos and your media and your plugins. Now, they're the main areas that people will deal in. The rest of the settings, I've got other settings and other plugins that have created their own menu items. Generally, you can miss all those. The theme settings themselves, again, they're a set and you don't need to generally come back to them. And every premium theme will have its own setup and its own system of setting it up. Where ProStyler or Optimized Press or any one of the thousands of themes that are out there. So it's just a little look at that now. I'm going to flick back to the presentation. So that's a bit of a look into the back end of WordPress. Hopefully not too scary. This is the matter of like learning anything, it's breaking it down into its components. Like I said, it's like jumping into a car for the first time. It's your dashboard. Now, if you're wanting to learn how to do this, I am offering now, in addition to the website development that I do, offering to teach people to do their own WordPress websites. It's a 12-week course. There's an optional 6-week course if your needs aren't as great and you're just looking to get the basics under your belt. It forms the first half of the 12-week course. There will be weekly webinars and walkthroughs in a much more detailed, much more thorough Q&A sessions. There will be weekly 30-minute Skype or phone mentoring sessions every week as well. So you're not going to be left out on your own. There is definitely one-on-one as well as the webinar side of it as well. Plus access to a membership site where every webinar, every walkthrough, every aspect of putting a website together, the webinar replays will be there along with additional video tutorials, 2 3-minute videos on you got stuck on how to create a blog post or how to edit a particular page, they're available and will be available in that membership area. You just to go back and go, right, how do I do that again? Along with some manuals for those that prefer to have a written step-by-step instruction, that will be available as well. And along with all that, there'll be a private Facebook group where you can contact other people in the group, throw your ideas up, throw your website up, have it mentored by other people and critiqued, feedback, and hey, how does this look? Now that's what I'm offering. I think it's everything of good will allow you to take full ownership of your own website instead of paying someone else $3,000-4,000 to have your website built for you. Then it's dumped in your lap, and that developer walks off, and you've got a great website. But in 6 months' time, you want to add more information to it or change details around, and you're stuck. You either find another developer to help you do that, or it just doesn't work for you. It's far easier that if you can take full ownership and be able to jump in and move things around and add pages and have that knowledge and ability to do your own. I feel that that's far more empowering for people to do that. That is the price of the course. Like I said, it goes for 12 weeks. If you're looking at just the boot camp, it is at a reduced price for a 6-week option. That's something you can consider taking on. If you want to get your website, take action and empower yourself to get your own website going. Hands-on mentoring. I know that's not a small amount of money in anyone's terms to come up with up front. Some people can, some can't. So I am offering to do it on a weekly payment basis for the period of the program itself. So that makes things a little bit easier. Sort of then gives you that great kick along to be able to do it. And as a bonus, if you've been on the webinar today and you're interested in taking up the offer, you don't have anything in place at the moment at all, but you're starting from scratch. I do offer and do provide web hosting for my clients, and the bonus here is that you will get 12 months of basic website hosting. At least get you off the ground for your landing pages, your blog, even a basic online store, all included the cPanel with the Installatron installation. As I mentioned before, the Installatron gives you some other benefits. It will allow you to create and do automatic backups, so you can set a weekly backup. If you use something like Dropbox, you can link that backup to Dropbox. It's a great way to keep your backups automated. You just set and forget. You'll get an email sort of half an hour after that backup's been done to say that your backup's there, and it's great for peace of mind. So people are interested in taking that up. You don't have to make that decision right now. I'll be talking to people individually. If you are interested in taking that up, I will put in the chat the web address where you can go to organise some time. That's the link. Click on the more information there. Pick a half-hour time to have a chat, and we'll see what we can do. And yeah, thank you for attending. We finished a little bit early. If there's any questions, chat box is there. there's not, thank you for your time and thank you for attending. And I'll catch you again. Catch you again soon. Thank you.